Life is beautiful like Sea Asia. My entrance was independent, but we major. The challenge that's killing me is to balance humility with my ability to stunt like Lee Major. When I was pissing poor, I had a vision board as my screensaver. I envisioned tours on G4s, mink blazers, hopping out with pink gators, unhinging doors like C4, ringing alarms like tennis saw. P-more. Had the club going up like seesaws. Abroad, we score so much, no need to keep score. Petite broads who eat raw, greet us at customs, teach us the customs and traditions of foreign soil. Royal dignitaries sending emissaries to meet Moors.
Peace, family. Welcome to another episode of Underground Railroad Productions. This is your host, Brother Rich. I had the pleasure of having this lovely sister with us one episode before, long ago, Zakiyah.
Yes, greetings.
We got a lot going on in society, pop culture, a lot going on in people's personal lives, and I recently seen the interview with Monique and Steve Harvey.
Yeah.
And it was a little sad. One thing I said, I interviewed Professor Griff. One thing I said to him is that I noticed that it sort of seemed like the roles were reversed, where I seen a woman being the aggressor and having that fire and spark to her.
Right.
And Steve Harvey was very, like, trying to put out her fire. Not to say that women try to put out men's fire, but I'm just not used to a man being so... What's the word I'm looking for, sis? I don't...
Passive, submissive.
Submissive to this. I mean,
tucking your tail.
I mean, it was a sight to see. Yeah. But it made me think about what's going on in today's society. And his book, "Think Like a Man, Act Like a Woman." I recently had a child, and I want to get this right, my sister. Okay. I want to get this right. My queen, she wants to get it right.
Yeah.
I need a female perspective. I know you are associated with Sacred Woman.
Yes.
What is this now?
Sacred Woman Village with Queen Afua. The master herbalist and practitioner, Queen Afua, has been serving the community as a pioneer of holistic health, womb wellness for decades. And so I had the honor of being a part of a few of her programs. I'm a Sacred Woman practitioner, so I actually host Sacred Woman Sister Circles, as well as I'm able to distribute products for the community as well. And undergone the Rites of Passage program that she has. It's a 12-week program that basically aligns the femininity of ascension. So you go through the 12 gateways that she has within her book, Sacred Woman. Please get it if you don't have it. And you really, it's a transformative rites of passage for any woman who's interested in moving themselves from a place of, possibly being stuck to ascension and vitality. And she also has, Queen Afua also has a program for Man Heal Thyself. So any brothers interested, please do reach out.
Now, when you say femininity in the Sacred Woman Circle, the way society is right now, when men hear that word femininity or feminism, they get scared. They're like, oh, shit, the Me Too movement.
And
these hoes ain't no good. I'm staying away. What would you say is the difference when you look at the way, I don't know if I want to say white woman maneuver, but the way we see feminism on TV and what you describe as femininity within the Queen Afua movement, because there might be discrepancies, my sister.
There's definitely, it's not the same. Our people are the first people. And so the divine feminine aspect is Mother Earth, that is the Mother Wit, that is... just the nurturing, that we receive with the woman in our family, the woman in the community, the woman in the village. This is what we receive. So when we're speaking about femininity, oh, he's beautiful. Rich the Kid, shout out to you. When we're thinking about femininity, we're talking about the principles of love, just nurturing the embodiment of really prevailing in the essence of family and community. And so what happens is the feminine movement that was constructed by European women, our sisters decided to jump on that bandwagon, thinking that they were trying to also be a part of the movement for the rights of women. However, white women or European women were only doing that so that they can get equal rights to their men. That was their issue with their own counterparts, you know, the European man. That had nothing to do with the African woman, the African race. And so our woman has always been connected to the African man in that divine feminine role. We all have our roles. And so it doesn't matter about the jobs and all of that stuff. It's a mindset, you know. It's not about a woman being super submissive. I do believe that women, we have our roles. And so in terms of the masculine and feminine relationship, there is a masculine following and the feminine energy, you know, that precedes naturally in our communities. However, in this place of Western, you know, understanding and where things have gone, the roles are getting real twisted. So back to the Steve Harvey and Monique thing that you were speaking on, you just saw the submissive, passive beatdown that has happened. You know, tucking your tail in because, you know, you have these other higher ups that, you know, the others that look different from you, and you want to make sure that projection in your pocket is good. And so this it's all politics, and it's also a part of being strong and affirming who you are. And that's why I respect Monique as a black woman, as an African woman. She's like, no, it's not about the money. It's about integrity first, you know. And so this is what we need to be sticking to, our principles and the essence of femininity and the divine masculine. If you are a man, be a man. If you're a woman, be a woman, and be okay with not being being unwavering in that presence.
Indeed, indeed. I feel like, you know, like Monique said, we've lost ourselves so bad chasing this bag. And yeah. And it's to the point where a lot of women, you know, sometimes if we want to talk about childbirth, they're not even carrying their baby no more because they feel as they've done. How do you feel work affects the womb, giving birth, and this whole process of childbirth? Working, I mean, all right, let's say you work 9 to 5, 5 days a week, all year long. What kind of impact is this having on giving birth?
So on the womb specifically, and this is a really amazing topic that you're speaking about, and I'm grateful that we're having these type of conversations and that the community is able to receive more information and insight. So gravity is already naturally what we are contending with, right? So then you have your womb. Everything is now, if you're standing up at a job for a 9 to 5 job, or you're sitting down then standing, the womb naturally is going to continue to be in a descending place. You need to be somewhere that your womb has the opportunity to feel the functionality of being grounded. So some women I'm a doula. And as a doula, there's a lot of women that are interested in bearing children and haven't bore children yet, or they are now ready to conceive or in the process of actually, you know, being pregnant. But if you're at a job, number one, the stress of the job can cause you, if you're not pregnant, to not have the ease of being able to maturate, and germinate a child, because there's the mind. Everything is in the mind, right? And we speak about that metaphysics, but everything is in the mind. So if you're stressed about a job and you're going to a job and you're thinking, I have to do this and this, you're not functioning as the natural essence of a woman, of being able to be at ease. Nothing can happen in stress, right? And then the relatability of actually relating and being with a partner to actually do that. Your job, when you get off of the job, you just want to relax. You're not interested in being intimate. So that love and essence has been also stripped away, even before the conceiving or anything like that happens, okay? But then we're speaking about the actual standing up and doing all of this meticulous work and the stress it has on the body. If your body is stressed, you're not going to be thinking about, that's not a nesting ground for actually looking to conceive. So 9 times out of 10, women that haven't conceived, and then you're eating foods at these jobs, you're drinking coffee, all of these things are going against the grain of the natural networks of the body. So coffee and junk food, and you're just kind of feeding all of these things into your body. The nutrients also has a lot to do with the stimulus of how that baby is going to grow. So a lot of women are not able to carry their baby full term at stressful jobs, even like the first trimester, because they're stressed at a high stress job. They're eating things that, are not with the proper weight and formality of the baby, so the baby can feel nestled. They're not having nutrients. A lot of people are not doing the nutrients, their due diligence of taking nutrients. And so the baby cannot survive and thrive in a place that is toxic. And so a lot of women are not able to bring their baby at least to the second trimester. And so this is something that is a really powerful topic about looking to conceive and being in the workplace, because the two don't really go hand in hand. Naturally, back in the day, the way things were in natural order, women were able to take some time off, to take time to do that, to try to conceive, to take time during that first few weeks of becoming pregnant, taking time to rest and relax so that the baby has an opportunity to survive and thrive.
Explain to us what a doula is.
Yes. So, greetings once again. If you are now tuning in, I am Zakiyah. I'm a doula. I've been a doula since 2015. And a doula basically is a support, a birthing partner. A doula is a person that assists the mother and sometimes definitely the father and the family at large through the process of birthing. And so through birthing, you have the prenatal, you have the birth, the actual labor, and then you have postpartum stage. So there's many different types of doula. I'm a full spectrum doula. So I've studied the prenatal, I've done laboring and postpartum as well. And those three stages is very crucial for a woman to bring that baby full term. And also, again, it goes back to the spiritual, the physical, psychological, and emotional needs of the mother. So a doula is basically like the best friend, the home girl. I have your back. And not only that, should be providing the informational resources in terms of nutrients, in terms of if you're doing a hospital birth, a home birth, with the types of birth, lotus birth. If you've had a VBAC is vaginal birth after cesarean. So a lot of people, there's so much information, Brother Rich, out there that women are given. And so because it's such a fragile stage of just, wanting to make sure that you are safe and protect your baby, there's so much information that's given. And we need to, as a doula, be able to help the mother filter out the proper information. And so that's basically what a doula is. And doulas have been around since the beginning of time, right? That can be your mother, it can be your best friend, it can be your neighbor. But now this is a title, and a lot of women, and thankfully a lot of African women, Black sisters are coming up and stepping up into our role and our seat as the caregiver, the birth worker, the birth partner. But this is so important because, Brother Rich, you recently had a beautiful baby. Shout out to Rich the Kid again. And yes, you are the partner and the father, which is important. Definitely we need that. But there's a different kind of essence when you have a woman-to-woman conversation, certain things that she can reveal to the doula as the mother. You know what I'm saying? There's certain things that she can express and the doula can understand, or look in her face and say, okay, I know that you need some spirulina. I know that you need some rosemary. I know that you need some lavender, like you need a massage. You know what I'm saying? There's certain things that naturally women understand to move in that flow. And so, and actually, doula, I did some research. Doula actually in Greek culture means a slave.
A what?
A slave, which is really interesting. However, we're taking away that denotative meaning, because a slave is someone, yes, there's supposed to be some subservience, but actually this is what we are doing. We are serving. And so we're taking off that slave stuff off of it, because this is an honor. If this is what, if someone is saying you're a slave, then this is the work that I will be to be a slave then. I will do my due diligence. I will do everything I can to make sure that women are protected, that women know that they're cared for, that they know that they have some advocacy. You're going into these hospitals and there's just a whole new world with these doctors and things that they're doing in the hospital. I know we're gonna get into that, but as a doula, you're really there as as a support, as a spine, as a backboard, springboard, a shoulder to cry on, which is so important in our community because it provides a woman's birthing experience is something that she will never ever forget. And every birth is different, every pregnancy is different. So it is so crucial to have doulas and have midwives who really care and support the vitality of the essence of the child and the mother and the family at large.
With that being said, this is something like foreign to a lot of black folks.
Yeah.
And they're just used to having a mama and them there when they give birth. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
So when you tell your family, I'm going to get a doula, you might get some, some backlash.
Some resistance.
Yeah, some resistance.
Mm-hmm. We're in that time.
So speak about that.
Yeah.
The resistance that the women are guaranteed to get from getting a good doula.
Yes. As you said, mama and them, that's a real thing, right? So the mother's there, you have the family that cares, and they like, I want her birth to be like this, and I want, her to do this instead of that. However, this is the mother's experience. This is the mother's birth, and so she knows what's best for her. And not only that, her body knows and can feel what is best for her. And so that resistance of the backlash of wanting to do something that seems out of the norm is something that stems from fear. When people don't have the knowledge of something, there's that fear that naturally that stems and arises, like, what's this? What's a doula? Are they going to do some bruja or something? Are they going to put something on you? What is this stuff? Why are you moving like this? What's the oils about? But this is a time that we are now going back. Our people are going back to the days of holistic healing and health mechanisms. And so we do what naturally feels right to us. And so for a woman to say, I want a doula, that means, yes, I'm grateful for you, family. I embrace what you're saying. I hear what you're saying. But this is my process for myself and my baby. And this is what feels right to me. And so I always advocate for women, have a doula. And you're absolutely right. This is a new conversation. So although on social media, you're seeing a lot more doulas coming out, this is still something that our communities, the black community still does not know about and will run to the hospital and, get certain shots and things that isn't for them because they have no knowledge of it. But the resistance, I would just say to any woman that is feeling like they want to do and is feeling that resistance, to just stay strong and firm in what you believe in and what you know to be true. Because 9 times out of 10, that gut feeling is the same parasitic nerves that you're feeling from your mind. And so if your gut is telling you to do something, follow your gut, because it could save your life. It could save your baby's life. There are doulas that is set statistically, there is a 80% higher chance for a woman to feel less stressed and to have a more naturally freeing birth with a doula rather than without. Also, the infant mortality rate is also an information that the doula will provide. It's also something that is necessary for our community as well. So having a doula, even with the restrictions, so I've done, I've had over, I would say like 30-something births. I started in 2015. And I've done home births, I've done hospital births, I've done birthing center births. And the experiences that I've had, the family usually isn't really for the doula, interestingly enough, but then they see the power and the essence, the conviction, the sisterhood, that's necessary that they can't even provide. Because they're still there like, oh my God, oh, help her, after a while, like, what do you need? And I'm like, yeah, we got this. Because we understand that it's not about us. So when I go in myself, if I can speak for myself as a doula, I go in knowing like, okay, this is it. I wear white and I'm like, okay, how can I serve? What do I need to do? It's not about me. And I really connect with the cosmos. And it's really a divine, that's how I know that this work is for me, is because I'm being told and guided like, oh, she needs some honey. She needs a honey stick. Oh, she needs some ice right now. She needs to get, some counter pressure going on. That's how I know that this is a divine work. And so whether there's resistance or not, from the hospital, from family or not, I have to do my job for this woman, this sister who's asked me to step in and say, I need your support. I don't know what a doula is, or maybe, or I've had a birth before and I don't want to do another cesarean, but I know that you will help me and assist me in making this just a little bit easier. And so this is the role of the doula and the importance of a doula.
Why are black women dying so much in these hospitals while giving birth? That's all you keep hearing.
That's a powerful question, and I think it's a two-folded question, Brother Rich, because one, you have the infant mortality rate, IMR, right? And the fact that that has been a high percentage since the 18th century of black babies dying, and black babies for just really silly reasons. It seems like a lot of black babies have passed, and that's because also there was an essence and a spirit of feeling like the black African baby was chattel, right? But then now you bring it up to present day, and the fact that that's still around the same percentage that black babies are dying. And so the reason why I'm speaking about IMR, infant mortality rate, is because that's very closely linked and even interwoven into the maternal mortality rates. And the fact that black women, I get emotional about it because it's absolutely ridiculous that you have the United States of America, and it's this is one of the 13 countries in the world that has the highest percentage of black women dying during birth. That's absolutely ridiculous, heinous. That shouldn't be in hospitals. Black women are dying. Actually, there's Judge Hatchett, I believe her name, the sister's a Judge Hatchett. I think she's on TV. And her son had to deal with his wife dying during childbirth, even though they asked to take more tests and check out certain things, do a CAT scan, do an MRI, and they ignored her. And so in doing my research, it is said because, and it doesn't matter if you're in a tax bracket, it doesn't matter your degrees that you think you had, they even said that a black woman that has a higher degree compared to a white woman with an 8th grade education can still be passed off, and it does not matter. It's said that in many cases, they feel like the black woman is exaggerating her pain. And so they ignore her. It's like, I'm getting emotional right now because it's a real thing. So because the woman is saying that she's in pain or she's hurting, she might need some more, she might need some more, drugs to help her through the process. They will ignore her because she is of a certain skin tone and skin color. That's absolutely ridiculous. There's no reason in 2019, we're in the 21st century, and black women are dying from childbirth. It's mind-blowing. And so this is another, I got a divine, my ancestors was like, you need to do this work. You need to continue to do this work and help our women because we do not know. We have no idea. And so once again, you're going into these hospitals and you're thinking, oh, the hospital, yeah, this is a safe space. No, actually, hospital means the sick house. When we really talk about it, I'm not fully against the hospital. I grew up in natural and holistic herbal life, and I'm grateful for that. But when you see both sides, there's doctors themselves that's like, okay, there's some stuff that's not right with this. And so if you have their own saying that, it's a real thing.
Do you use a different approach depending on, like, let's say you have somebody who's...
I got real passionate.
Say you have somebody who's a Christian or a Muslim, or do you use a different spiritual approach? Because you constantly bring up spirituality, and that's something that the hospitals don't bring up at all.
Yes.
As if spirituality has nothing to do with bringing a soul into this world. So is there different approaches you use with different people?
Yes. So my first approach is knowing that the spirit is universal. And so whatever religious denomination or whatever color you might be, it's still spiritual. We're all the essence of spirit first. And so that guides me to know how to deal with each woman and each birth I had a Muslim sister, and, you know, I know that she wanted to pray often. So this is something that we started off with a prayer during each of the things, whether I did womb yoga or Reiki or an energy reading. We also asked, you know, and I would allow her to lead the prayer so that she would feel that this is something that's still connected to her, because we are physical beings, but obviously we're having a spiritual experience as well. That's hand in hand. So it's not going to separate, because even the creation of life itself, out of darkness, out of nothing, there is formulation of life and something. You know what I'm saying? And a profound something. And that's the Immaculate Conception in itself, right? But then we're talking about the essence of spirit, how this woman feels with her birth. If she's feeling low, if she's having mental thoughts, all of that is a spirit. Depression, anxiety is a spirit. It's an energy. So my job is to help to maneuver that and actually help her to get to a place where she's feeling positive and she's feeling excited and she's feeling like, yes, I'm ready to take this birth on. I'm ready to do this, you know. And I've also had a birthing experience where the mother was fearful of becoming a mother so much that she was not able to open up. Her womb was not able to open up. Her uterus was not able to open up. And so she had to have a C-section, because at that point, the baby was actually wrapping the cord and having the cord wrapped around his neck. So it's all connected. Mental, spiritual, physical, psychological, that's all the birthing process. Because if a woman can go from her spirit of saying, oh, I don't think I could do this, I'm fearful, to like, no, I got this, I'm ready to go, I know what I'm doing, you know, that is the essence of saying, I'm ready and we're moving forward with this birth, you know. Then the woman will be ready to have the baby. Otherwise, she's not going to do it. So it is all connected. I had another beautiful experience with a mother who, Christian, she had 2 babies before, and she knew herself. They were trying to turn her away from the hospital because that's not where she was registered. And once you're at a certain mark in terms of yes, you can't turn them away. So we went downstairs. She was like, I'm not leaving. We're going downstairs. I'm going to do some stretches. So we did some stretches. You know, I did some counter pressure, and she went back upstairs, and she was already 8 centimeters. So she was ready to go. She had that baby in 15 to 20 minutes. When I say the body knows what it needs to do, the body knows what it needs to do. And it doesn't have to be all the drama in the hospital of break the bed, and they sending in 10 residents and then the doctors, and it's this whole performance and drama. No, it does not have to be like that. And she did it without drugs, natural birth, in 15 to 20 minutes. So it is spirit. Your spirit has to be convicted to know that my body knows what to do. God gave me the essence to say, I'm also God, because I'm in that image. And my spirit is allowing me to let it go and open up, because that's really what it is. Your body is opening up. So more than a contraction and closing up, it's the expansion of your spirit.
You know, women have this close relationship with the Creator, obviously, because they bring a soul into this world. Like, when you think about it, like I personally witnessed my girl having a regular body till out of nowhere there's a seed in there, and then there's a baby in there, and then one day I just see the baby come out, and I'm like, how the fuck did it get room? I'm pardon the language. I'm like, how did room grow in there for a baby? Like, all the organs that's in there, then there's like this huge baby that's in there. So it's like absolutely magnificent to see the process and see how connected women are with the Creator and with the universe. My question to you is, with society, we talked about women having to be a certain way on the job field. I remember I was raised in a single parent household. My father got killed before I was born, and my mother had to raise me. I'm a man, obviously, so she had to exude a certain type of energy. One time she had to punch me in my chest for being disrespectful. My question to you is, I was like in the 5th grade. I was a little kid. I was like in the 5th grade, something like that. But is it possible for a woman to go from disciplining her children in that zone because there's not a man around, to being feminine in the aspect of bringing a child into this world or doing what they got to do in terms of femininity? It's like y'all got to have this on-off switch in this society, and it's crazy right now what y'all got to do.
Yeah, and that is a great point. But even more than that, we are in a place of survival. and surviving more than thriving. Got to get the bag, got to go to work to pay this bill, to have the roof over my head. And so for people may not like this, I don't mind. You know what I'm saying? I'm me. So the man can walk away. He has that opportunity to walk away. A mother cannot do that. A mother cannot do that, by no means. And so it is a innate feeling to say, yeah, I'm gonna pick up this load of bearing this child, number one, and then taking on both roles of nurturing nature and discipline, which is a lot. And still going to work 9 times out of 10, possibly going to school trying to better herself. There's so much that the woman has to deal with. And this day and age where it's so easy, it's like, oh yeah, we're beautiful relationship. And then everything is quick, then you're pregnant now. And so during that time, that's all the birthing experience. From the time the woman is now saying that, okay, there's a conception of life in me now, right? And that's germinating, all of that energy that she's feeling. So if a man, the father, decides to not be there and she's raising the child by herself, all that energy of the sadness of that happening, the disappointment, the fear, all of that goes into the baby. And so these are things that we also need to be mindful of, and also the support of the community. And the fathers really, our fathers, I'm grateful for my father who's been in my life my entire life and raised other, I'm one of 9 brothers and sisters. I'm grateful for my parents being together still. It's not always easy, but even if there is a split, still, please be there for your child. Showing up in a child's life, the child needs both mother and father. That is the balance. The mother did not do it by herself, and so the responsibility should not be hers on her own to have, and then more than that, there is a psychological essence, as I was saying, of the fear, of the hurt, of the pain that also goes into that nurturing of that baby. That doesn't go away. And so then that process of now trying to conceive past that hurt, that pain, that disappointment, then you birth a child who looks like the father. And then how do you deal with this child with the father who's now gone, the man who's now left, and still have to pick up and do the work and nurture and love and do everything. It's a lot. It's a real interesting case. And so for the women that are doing that, I big you up 1,000%. Shouts out to you. You rock. You're amazing. And for the men who are fathers, continue to be amazing fathers. We need this family unit to stay together because there's so much different attacks happening in multiple ways, right? To disenfranchise our family, our community. And if you are not a father, or if you see a single woman, see what you can do if it's one thing to just help and support in a really beautiful way. Not saying like, I did this for you, but just like, yo, sister, I see you. I'm going to help you with a something. Even if you see a sister with a stroller, help her out. You don't know what that energy and that support and that upliftment can do.
They say the mitochondrial DNA of a woman is what gets passed down to the child. Mm-hmm. A brother told me, I want to ask you, how accurate is this brother's statement? He said a woman's not pregnant for 9 months. She's pregnant her whole life. Because the thoughts and emotions that she accumulates throughout her life gets passed down to her child. How accurate is that statement? Because we all make so many mistakes throughout our lives. I know women don't want to think shit. Everything I thought gets passed, you know what I'm saying? So talk to me about the importance of the mitochondrial DNA when it comes to giving birth.
Yes. So that's a powerful question in itself. So genetically, we are all a cell, right? And then there's a continuous mitosis that's happening within us. And as the genes are splitting up, right, and there's continuous duplication, we ourselves every day are duplicating. And so, right, I do believe that that's a powerful statement. And then it immediately takes me back to slavery and the enslavement of our people and how those DNAs, and that gene pool has been passed down genetically within us. So that fear, that doubt, the worry, the survival, that's all been passed down inherently through all of us, And so for what you're asking me, Brother Rich, that brother is absolutely correct. So, and also because the eggs that a woman is birthed with she'll have that for the rest of her life. Exactly. And so, yes, it is the amalgamation of all the thoughts, all the things, all the deeds, all the happy and joyful times, all the sad and rough and tumultuous times. She's feeling that. And so her cells are carrying that as well. And so, yes, you get the chromosomes from the father and the mother, but definitely that mitochondrial, that DNA is definitely in there. And the other stuff from the ancestral, energy coming and being passed down as well. Which is why it's important to know who you are mating with and do your research, because there's ways to find out if this person has sickle cell, just all these things that our community, sometimes people overlook it because he looks good and he has a nice car, or she has a fat booty, or you know what I'm saying? She has some beads on, or she have a head wrap. It's more than that. We have to really be mindful about who we are mating with so that we can have really powerful seeds that come into fruition as children.
Indeed, powerful statement, my sister. What would you say is the single most important advice, if there is any, that you will give to a woman who's about to give birth, giving birth, or pregnant, or looking to be, whatever? Like, what's the single most that all these? You said you've given over 30-something births.
Yeah, it's like over 35.
So what have you? What's the ongoing trend that you noticed that you're saying, damn, I got to tell the next one, remember this or remember that? Like, what would it be?
It gave me chills. The question gave me chills. That you are a goddess. You are a goddess. You are a creator. And because you are a co-creator, you've been created, and you can then produce and create. You are a goddess, right? You are in the essence of God. And so remembering that, getting back to that place of remembering, and not only remembering the thought, literally remembering, taking that parts from the past, of the past hurts and pains that you felt from a relationship, your heart that you gave to a lover, maybe there was some trauma. You are as powerful as you're going to ever be in your life, and you've come with all the power and the essence that you've ever been built with, that your ancestral energies have poured into you, that your parents have poured into you. So remembering how amazingly perfect your body is, and the fact that it's going to do exactly what it's supposed to do, whether you're here or not. An unconscious woman can still give birth if they have somebody in their ear. Listen,
it just happened in the hospital. It just happened.
Listen,
some crazy nigga in the hospital was raping a coma. She was in a coma, right? And she ended up giving birth while she was in a coma, man. Like, it's crazy. It's crazy. So the body is, it's a machine within itself. It's genius.
Yes. And then there's no fear.
One thing they kept telling my girl was that, as far as breast milk and breastfeeding, that's something I want to talk to you about. Yeah. Your body goes based on, your body knows how much it needs based on how much you pump. Yes. So if you're continuously looking for the breast milk, it will continuously give you the breast milk. But if you're not looking for it, it won't give it to you. So it's like that saying: if you don't use it, you lose it. Yes. Yeah, you know that saying. Yes. But the body is smart, Zakiyah. Yes. So talk to me about that.
Oh my gosh. The body is so amazing. Yes, the breast milk and the breastfeeding too. But when we could even think about the organ, the tree of life, the placenta, oh my God. That in itself, the placenta.
I got a story, but go ahead.
Yeah, no, the placenta is something that is created out of nothing. What
do you mean out of nothing? What do you mean?
It is not there, and it grows it just comes into being. Yes. Wow. Because, and there's... I had to take a moment because I've been in hospitals where the nurses, as soon as the baby was born, they like trying to go, and I've said, like, the mother would like to have the placenta, please, you're doing your little checkouts and they're going to do their little takeaways and see, but the mother would like to have her placenta. Please leave her placenta with her. And I turn my back, and they have the baby, and everyone's focused on the baby and the new mother and the family, and the placenta goes away. And I couldn't believe it. I'm like, you trying to take her placenta? So I had to track down the nurse and say, excuse me, the mother wanted her placenta. Can she have that? Oh, I didn't know. I didn't remember. I said, please. I said, she's the only one on the birthing floor that had her baby. She's the first one. It must be the warmest one. Please go get it. And she had to open the closet and give her people are trying to take the placenta because they're trying to what? Do research. and stem cells and all of that stuff and find out why and who and what, okay? The melanated body is so amazing. And so that's just a whole nother thing in itself. But the placenta, the fact that this is an organ that is built just for the baby, constructed for the baby, to have the amniotic sac, to be nestled in, to get the nutrients, to be connected through the umbilical cord. And it looks like a tree of life. It is amazing.
Yeah, just like a tree of life.
Yes, it is the tree of life.
Just like it.
So that is the ancestral DNA going back.
Woo, okay.
That is it. That's the precipice of, and the antithesis of who we are in the past, the future, and the present, all in one.
Uh-huh.
That's what a child is. That's how powerful a child is. And how powerful that placenta is. You know, so even when the baby's conceived and they want to cut the cord, there's still so much nutrients in there. They're still pumping with that blood.
They be rushing to cut that cord.
Why?
They be rushing to cut that cord.
To get another birth in, right? And meanwhile, that blood, a lot of babies that have iron deficiencies and jaundice, that's because they're not finished the nutrients. If you would just wait another few minutes, the cord is going to start changing color, get a little darker, and naturally, you know, you can cut it later. Or there's the lotus birth, where it naturally falls off. That's the process of keeping the mother connected with the baby through the umbilical cord until it naturally says, yes, it falls off. So this is powerful, and it's big business too. To give a woman a cesarean,
business.
Oh, it's big business in hospitals to cut a woman open. All right, let's cut her. Let's give her the shot. You know, inject her with something so she feels numb. There's a woman that I've talked to that's crying. They're like, I don't feel like I'm a real mother. I don't feel like I really gave birth because I didn't have the baby vaginally. I wanted to, but the doctor said I had to have a cesarean. And so they cut me open, and that's it. All of a sudden, I had a baby, and I was drugged up, so I don't remember anything. But going into the breastfeeding, the fact that, yes, the mother, as much as you use it, right, it will flow. So if you're continuously massaging the breast, you know, and you're activating your the areola, the milk is stimulated. But also because the baby, that suckling that they're feeling and they wanting the breast milk, mothers will start to naturally, you know, they're starting to feel it, the breast getting larger, feeling themselves wanting to nurse. And what's so powerful about breastfeeding is that it's so soothing. I'm not a mother yet, I haven't conceived, but the look that I see of mothers when they actually are able to do it, because it's a process. Imagine a new mother who's never given birth before. This baby is something new to the world, new to her. And the fact that they can have that bonding to say, we're doing this together, and latch. That connection is like, what's that movie, Avatar? When I don't remember the character's name, he pushed that his whatever tail into that animal, and it was connected. That's that symbiosis that happens. And so a mother naturally feels amazing. The baby feels amazing love, and the woman can now start to lose some of her weight. She's naturally starting to feel the essence of that love and that creativity of what she created now pouring back into her. So breastfeeding is something that's so phenomenal. There's so much herbs and fruits and vegetables, which is why the nutrients is so important for women during the prenatal, the labor, and definitely postpartum for mothers. I think pumpkin seeds, there's so much nutrients in pumpkin seeds, and pumpkin for men as well, in terms of the stimulus in you know, in their groin, you know, and doing what they need to do naturally as men.
That's what I do a pumpkin seeds as far. I was about to say, I thought that was for me.
But the pumpkin and pumpkin seeds are actually really a great testament for women as well in the milk production, as well as fenugreek herbs, as well as red raspberry for the womb, you know, also for the breast. Like all of these, there's so much vitality in the foods that we eat that's connected to birthing, and the production of the milk, which is necessary. A lot of women actually wean off earlier or don't do it because they feel like it's painful, the breastfeeding. You know, there's certain ways that you can hold the baby to support yourself. The mother first has to feel comfortable in order to feed the child, you know, but imagine a woman who doesn't know how to, you know, to make the baby latch, or, you know, doesn't feel supported. She's like, okay, I can't do this, I'm gonna give up. This is why a doula is important. This is why a lactation specialist is important. You know what I'm saying? And it's okay to ask for help, and it's okay for a woman to go through all the things that she's going through. The postpartum is real. Postpartum is a real thing. And we're not even talking about postpartum depression, which a lot of women do experience if they're not handled with care during any process and point of their birthing experience, or during the actual labor and after. If they're feeling anything of low vibrational energy, that can definitely affect postpartum processing, you know, which lasts for even up to 2 years. So, yes. I know I'm sharing a lot.
Yeah, you know, very, very, very interesting. I definitely appreciate you sharing it with us. You know, I used to think postpartum, just hearing that word, I thought it was like some white woman kind of thing, you know, because just the way I was educated, I'm like, man, black women don't go through that shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, because we're so used to, we have this stereotype of black women always being strong, like how you say it. So it's like, they don't get depressed at the birth. We done been through so much as a people, man. We ain't got mental shit. Like we just keep it moving. So,
and so there's definitely a difference between, and I'm just saying this because I don't want to feel like everybody knows what postpartum even is. Postpartum,
right.
Yes, give thanks. Postpartum is the process as soon as the placenta is birthed, which is a whole nother birthing experience. After the baby's birth, the placenta is birthed, and then postpartum is right after that stage. So it's immediately after placenta.
How long does it last to, from that to?
For about 1.5 years, 2 years. It depends on the mother and, you know, the process of the baby, but definitely like around 2 years, yes, because there's still milk being developed for the baby, you know, years after.
Right.
I know there's a couple of sisters that I know who were still breastfeeding at 3, and if they could at 4, yeah, they would.
Wow. Okay, well, in terms of everything that we've talked about,
did I answer your question?
I think the people have a fine understanding of what you said. They have a fine, especially, you know, you breaking down postpartum and everything like that. I definitely appreciate that. But go ahead.
I apologize. So yes, the postpartum is right after the birthing of the placenta, but postpartum depression is something that is affected statistically. They say anywhere from like 4 out of 5 women can experience postpartum depression and it's just a chemical thing that's happening within the body, where they might feel lethargic, disconnected from the baby, where they might feel as if they're losing their sense of self, because this is a rites of passage. Having a birth, giving life, is a rite of passage for a woman. You went from one person, and now all of a sudden, as you said, you saw your I was going to say whiz, because I'm learning this new term from my brother Rich. But your wife experienced, you know, you see her now, she has a seed, and now she's growing, and she's 2. 1 becomes 2. So now you connected all these months to this, you know, germination of this beautiful baby into conceiving. And now it's you by yourself now, you know, you, the one woman again, you know.
1 to 2, back to 1.
Back to 1.
You know what's funny? Something my girl always said was, I miss having them in me. She always said that. She said that, like, yo, I miss having them inside me. I'm like, damn, I thought that was pain. She was like, I miss, like, there was a connection with him being in there. Wow, that's deep. You said that.
Yeah.
Okay.
And a lot of women, they say that, like, oh, I miss this baby stage, because they miss that baby, you know, like the nurturing, loving. When they start fending for themselves, it's like, dang, I want another little baby, a cute little baby. So look out. You know, Brother Rich.
Oh, man. I
already spoke.
Shit.
Yeah, so with postpartum depression, if you know anyone that is going through postpartum depression, or if you yourself as a mother is going through postpartum depression, it doesn't mean that you're terrible, that you're bad. It doesn't mean any of that. It's just a process that you need some support and some love, and you need to speak to someone. Do not feel like you need to do this by yourself. If you have a sister, speak to your mate. If you have someone in the community, an elder, speak to someone. You should not be doing postpartum depression, anything by yourself, because it is something that it could be so taxing on the mind. You might feel like you don't want to be here. You don't want to be around your child. It can play a lot of mind tricks. The mind is very, very powerful, but know that you have the power, and you are the power to get through, overcome, and still be an amazing mother.
You know, so many women, they have to, because of the way society is set up, they have to work, and it's extremely hard breastfeeding, having a regular job. So, you know, they got to give their baby formula. Could you talk to those mothers and let them know, like, what's some of the best things you could tell them if they just, you know, maybe it's fatigue, it's the work, it's a combination of things, they just can't do it. So they got to give their baby formula. What's some of the best advice you could give these women? Is there any, like, I mean, is there any good to the formula method? Is there a certain type of formula?
So, if the mother is still producing milk, there's definitely, you know, she can put herself on a schedule where she can pump, you know, and milk can stay fresh for a long time. You know, and so if she's pumping and preserving that milk, you know, even freezing it in the freezer and then, you know, warming it up later on, this is something that she can do for months on end, because the flow and the production of milk is endless. As I said, if you're using certain herbs, you know, it's endless. And that process is really powerful, because the breast milk is the most amazing thing for the child. There's certain nutrients and vitamins and minerals that can only be granted and gifted to the child through the breast milk. So that's number one. But due to the lifestyle of the Western hemisphere, and, you know, you have to go to work and it can be very taxing, maybe, you know, still trying to balance the schedules, a mother is not able to do that. People are saying hemp milk or almond milk, but it doesn't really give provide obviously the same nutrients and minerals as the breast milk. Formula is something I am against.
You're just against that.
The sugar that they put in that stuff, and there's certain chemicals that's in that stuff, it's not good. It's absolutely not good for the baby. There are other ways. There's also, I've heard of women utilizing other women's breast milk.
So you would recommend that over formula? Definitely. Wow. Okay.
Yeah, breast milk. There's a baby, an infant needs certain, as I said, minerals, and there's certain things that just need to happen through the flow of the breast milk and through drinking and internalizing the breast milk that nothing else can get. And it's one of those amazing things. Once again, back
about the woman. Right,
yes.
Right.
And so, children that kind of develop, not all children, you know, and it's not a quote, but they say during researching that children that have issues with cognitive development and certain processes of their developmental stages could be even interrupted or not possibly happening in the way and the time frame. There might even be a little, you know, delays to certain things because they don't have that breast milk. Yes, could be, not for all, but there's definitely cases of that. And so it doesn't have to be either. For the women that, to answer your question, Brother Rich, for the women that don't have either of those, because we are in a time where, you know, you might feel like your resources is limited, I will say do what you need to do, what's best for your baby. That's the bottom line. And don't beat yourself up if you don't feel like you have the resources, but know that Google is at everyone's fingertips. You know, asking, closed mouths do not get fed. This is a community. You're not the only woman that could be going through these things. So reach out to someone, Google, you know, and ask certain questions, and you might find that you will be supported in ways that you didn't imagine at first. So yes, know that you are an amazing mother, and this is just a moment in time. And maybe you didn't have the breast milk to provide at that time, or the baby wasn't latching, or something that was happening. It is still okay for you to do what's best for you and your baby. And so if formula is what you have, you need to give your baby some formula then. That's okay. Do what you have to do, you know? So that's what I would say to that.
Indeed, indeed. Well, man, I mean, it's been about an hour.
So
fast,
quick.
Right? Fast,
oh, man,
right?
I was having so much fun.
It's been about an hour.
Wow. And I was sitting up here like, okay, I don't know if I'm going to have enough to say. Like,
there's always
but then
more.
once I start yapping my mouth, then I know.
There's always another question, and you was just flowing.
Yeah, we got to flow. Life is about the flow.
You was just flowing, so
Thank you.
Definitely appreciate the conversation.
Thank you so
I hope it provides some clarity for myself. So I hope it provides clarity for other sisters and brothers out there who have children or are looking to have children. It's something that we don't, we take our jobs real serious, but sometimes when we have children, we don't take it as serious sometimes as we take our job. In fact, if you ask somebody, yo, who are you? And I got this from Griff, instead of saying I'm the mother, instead of saying I'm the mother of so-and-so, they'll say, oh, I'm a receptionist.
Right.
Their first response would be whatever their job occupation is. They will bypass their relationship with their child or their relationship with themselves or whatever to whatever their job is.
Right.
And it's like, that's part of what we talked about in the beginning. This chasing the bag thing, we really lost.
You lose sight of yourself.
Yeah, we really lost. And it's getting to the point where we have become a bunch of poor people with money. Where we have a little bit of money, but we're poor inside.
Yeah.
Very poor inside.
That's a powerful statement.
And that is the worst way to be in this world, especially when you're bringing a soul into this world, because integrity is everything. Fuck what Steve Harvey said.
Yeah.
Integrity, Pac said, I'd rather die like a man than live like a coward. There's a ghetto up in heaven and it's ours. Black power.
That's right.
Is what we
Power.
scream. I could go on and on. Y'all know that's Pac, all eyes on me, for all the brothers out there who listening. But anyway, I just appreciate the talk.
Yeah.
I appreciate the talk.
It's necessary.
And it's very necessary. It's very important. And you have so many things that you do.
I know.
You were one of the. I'm gonna tell the people you were one of the dancers in the Black Magic video with me and Cambada.
Yes. That is a beautiful experience.
Yeah.
I'm so grateful for that, because I remember you and I, how we met. And you sometimes you meet someone and you just like, who is this person? Like, oh my gosh. But then I realized immediately after I was reintroduced by one of my pillar brothers, I was like, this is supposed to be my brother. I was like, wow. I was like, to think we almost went head to head for a second. But it was just so powerful, because then Blue Pill asked me, yo, we need some dancers. Would you be interested? And I was like, yeah, I would love to. And so then I see, it's the same brother again, my brother Rich and Kambada. I'm like, oh, this is an honor, because we got to see each other in a different light, And so, yes, I'm so grateful for that. That video is the bomb. It's one I literally enjoy that video so much, and that song so much. Like, I still play it for myself. Yes.
Yo, so you got so many services you offer. You also, you with the Sacred Woman Circle. I think that's something that's essential for women out here. I wish they had something for men out there in that regards. Like Queen Afua, she goes in. Like I filmed it, and I seen the graduation ceremony, and I see how y'all get down, and I seen the sisterhood, and it's absolutely beautiful. So tell the sisters, how can they contact? How can they find out more information about that if they wanted to?
So in terms of Sacred Woman, Queen Afua is definitely on Instagram, Queen Afua, and she's on Facebook as well, Queen Afua Heals. She has I think her programs are obviously 12 weeks. It's a 12-week program, so it's 3 months. But I think it's twice a year. You can also go on www.queenafua.com, and she has all her programs there, all her products is there. I would definitely say women need to at least get the book and the products, but definitely being a part of the village, Sacred Woman Village, is a powerful network, and just an entity of yourself to develop into a higher place of overstanding for yourself. My sister circles are through her gateway of teaching, and so I usually try to do at least 2 a month, utilizing her book, her teachings, her products. I have them available as well, but these are just it's a sister circle, so it's a sisterhood.
So how do people find out about that?
Yes, the plug. Thank you. So you can find me on Instagram. My name is Zakiyah. So that's Zakiya. Last name Kefentse. On Facebook, the same thing. I also have dance classes. I'm a dancer, and my dance classes are every other Saturday. and the dance classes are basically a retroactive therapy for sisters, for men, for children who want to just have some fun, want to move. Life is about movement. But also why I started the dance program is because I realized that I went through some trauma, and all of us in some way or another have been through something that has traumatized us. And so getting out of the mental mind into the subconscious body by moving helps to release certain things. So my classes, as I said, is every other Saturday, which I'll post up on both of my media platforms, Facebook and Instagram. And it's amazing. It's $20. We do meditation. We do breathing exercises. There's choreography. I do African, reggae, soca, hip hop. Like, I have so many different genres to pull from because I love to dance. My mother's a dancer.
You know what's dope about you? I don't think you ever heard the song Black Magic before you came that day. Did you even hear it?
No, I never.
You didn't even hear it. I actually remember when I put it on, like, within 10 seconds, and you just started moving to it.
Yeah.
And I was like, yo, yeah. I told the cameraman, I was like, yo, get her.
Right.
I was like, yeah, we gotta
get her.
So
Move.
you're very good at, your spirit is very good at just flowing, like water.
I am water.
Yeah. Just
shout out to Oshun. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I'm water.
That's what you reminded me of that day. Just straight water. So yeah, that's dope. You left all the info because the people, they're gonna be hollering at you. So you got to.
I know, and I'm so grateful to your community, your platform, and I thank you so much, Brother Rich, for what you do in terms of getting the information to the community. When I did the Cherish presentation for Black Magic 363, the overwhelming support that you all had given me put me to the top of the ranking in that organization. So I just want to say thank you. And yes, please do support my dance classes, support the sister circles. They will be on the page. As I said, Zakiyah, Kafensi, and I would love to connect with you all at large.
You got to have something for the sisters globally. There's so many.
Yes, it's growing.
I got sisters from Kenya that watch the channel.
I'm ready. Listen, come on. Bring on the international, intercontinental. Yes, I'm ready. Yes, we're going to be global.
A wonderful conversation, very important.
Thank you so much.
Thank you once again for coming on the platform, my sister.
It's an honor.
And we will see you again soon.
Yes, give thanks for the rich.
Peace, family.
Peace and love.
Life is beautiful like Sea Asia. My entrance was independent, but we major. The challenge that's killing me is to balance humility with my ability to stunt like Lee Major. When I was pissing poor, I had a vision board as my screensaver. I envisioned tours on G4s, mink blazers, hopping out with pink gators, unhinging doors like C4, ringing alarms like tennis saw. P-more. Had the club going up like seesaws. Abroad, we score so much, no need to keep score. Petite broads who eat raw, greet us at customs, teach us the customs and traditions of foreign soil. Royal dignitaries sending emissaries to meet Moors.